Hello, everybody. You're welcome to day 4 of our December series on how to run your business profitably when times are tough. I have said so much already in the month, and I'm already beginning to think that maybe I should just leave it at that and let you work on your business because I know I've given you enough to work with. But, well, since I've come this far, let's just take it. I just have like 3 days to go. Let's just take it through the next 3 days and then I'm sure there will still be something more for you to pick. So today, I'm keeping it simple. I want to talk about something I learned from my friend, my personal finance coach. Some time ago, I invited her to come and train my mastermind group on. Oh, mastermind group, you want to know about it? Okay, then drop a comment. To come and train my mastermind group on multiple streams of income. And the very first thing she said in that class absolutely knocked me off my feet because she just asked a question. It is beautiful to have multiple streams of income, but have you maximized your streams of income? So I started thinking, what exactly does this woman mean? So I called her back and said, please stay on that for a bit and let me understand. What do you mean by maximizing your stream of income? And she said, are you making the most that you can make from what you do right now? Now, this question applies to both people in paid employment and those who run businesses. Are you honestly, genuinely making the most that you can from what you do right now? When I was in the banking industry, I spent 8 years serving the same bank. I got in as an experienced recruit as an assistant banking officer. I spent 4 years on that level, and then after 4 years, I was promoted to banking officer. And then I spent another 4 years on that level. And when they did promotion in my 4th year, I was omitted from the promotion list. Unfortunately, I had left the system before the next promotion was to be done. However, what I found was that my friends, who we got into banking at about the same time, but who kept moving from one bank to the other, kept negotiating the next level when they changed banks. What am I saying? Are you making the most you can from what you do? When I was banking, I was not making the most I could because people who were doing exactly what I was doing in other places were making more because they kept looking for a better way to earn more doing exactly the same thing. So, is there somebody doing exactly what you're doing and earning more on it? In some seminars I took in November, I came across someone who said that he had a 50 naira profit on his sales of a particular product, and I had somebody right next door who was selling at the price he was buying it, and he was confused as to how to compete with that kind of neighbor selling exactly the same thing you're selling. And the very first question I asked him was, where are you sourcing for your products? If someone knows where they can get it cheaper, then they can play with price. If you are buying at a higher price, obviously you guys are not making the same margin of profit, even if you're selling at the same price. And then that person can actually drop his price and sell a bit more because the others don't know where to get from, where he is getting from. So when I say, are you making the most out of what you're doing currently? Are you even making the most you can? Are you getting your raw materials from the cheapest sources? Are you getting the products you're reselling, your wholesale products? Are you getting it from the cheapest source? Are you applying the best things to make it, to bring the end products, to create the end products? Are you good with quality such that you can earn the most from it? It's amazing, really, that somebody would put just one thing extra, differentiate with something. I mean, let's talk cakes. When you wrap the cake with butter icing, it's a different price. When you wrap it with whipped cream, it's a different price. When you now go for cream cheese, it is absolutely a different price. Sometimes I reason that the person who's doing cream cheese is probably making more money than the people that are doing all these other types of icing. Why? Oh, well, there's the fondant now that you can use to make all sorts of shapes and sizes and all of that. Depending on what you are using to differentiate your product, you might just be able to earn a little bit more if you go for the better icing. Now, think of your own business along those lines. Are you making the most you can from exactly the same amount of effort, exactly the same amount of input in terms of raw materials and other resources like the money you put into it? If you are not, this is a time to maximize your source of income. Yesterday, when I was talking, I spoke about people who find waste. When I was talking about Mudarin, people who find waste when they are cutting the crust of their sandwiches, using that as raw material for making scotch egg. That is maximizing income. In the process of eliminating waste, what you consider a waste might be someone else's raw material. Are you throwing it away or making an income from it such that with the same activities you are maximizing your income? I would always talk about a lovely, loving, dear friend of mine who started going to the market for her friends because whatever profits she makes from buying in bulk is what she will use to buy her own stuff. I mean, she's doing all of this to make sure she doesn't have to spend money on groceries, so she grocery shops for everybody, and the profit, quote unquote, is what she uses to shop for hers. She's taking out her own expenditure in terms of groceries. Now, for that person, the same activity of going to the market for herself is what she's using to go to the market for everybody. She spends exactly the same time. She's buying in bulk and thus reducing price and then making a killing off it. Well, making herself comfortable off it. So, keep thinking. Are you really making the most you can? Are you maximizing the income you can get from your transactions? Now, do not go into multiple streams of income until you have maximized the income you can make. Because what you do, the force you are able to generate, the credit you can add to yourself by focusing on that, on making as most as you can, would help you run that business on autopilot. When you have focused on it, you have developed it, you have built every aspect, you have used up every waste in that business, then you can set up a system that works by itself. You can recruit staff who have done this, who know exactly what the vision is, who can run with it, and then you can move on to establishing other streams of income to support the stream you have. Please do not start setting up random businesses everywhere, such that every business will now be flying at half-mast instead of focusing on one, making the most you can from it before going to that one. I think they say that a word is enough for the wise. I think I'll just leave you to think about it, brood over it. Are you making the most you can from what you do right now? I'll continue from here tomorrow. It's coming to a close gradually, but I still have a few things to share with you on this topic. So, see you tomorrow.